What is up, Gunplum modelers? This is Strider Prime bringing you a new edition of Gundam Models. And as you can see here, due to the massive size of this box that you're looking at, today I'm going to build the new Gundam for Ka from the Mobile Suit Mobile Suit Gundam's Char's Counterattack animated movie. This is a welcome surprise that has come out this calendar year of 2013. The Verka version of the new Gundam was announced roughly about 5-6 months ago, and I even showed off a video of what the new Gundam looked like when I went to the New York Comic-Con show. And since I've never had the Master Grade new Gundam, I've been like biding my time, waiting for the opportune moment to purchase it. And I'm talking about the original Master Grade, not this guy. But when this guy first was announced, I said, you know what, I gotta get this. Now, I've had the new Gundam before, but not the high grade version, the original 144 scale one that came out, I think when the movie came out, or actually a couple of months after that. It was a cool kit at this time. I don't have it anymore. I wish I did. Nice to revisit classic kits and see the changes that had been made from then till now. But the Katoki version, of course, is something that I'm assuming everyone's getting their hands on right now. A little history here. Following on the new Gundam is pretty much a very, very popular mobile suit. I think it's along the lines of the popularity between the Zeta Gundam, the Strike Freedom, and of course the Exia. But the new Gundam was really cool in the fact it's also very, very big. I mean, this is actually a very big kit. Looking at the history here, and look at the size. If the new Gundam was ever made as a 1/1 scale, the RX-78-2 kit, or excuse me, statue, which is in Japan, the 1/1 scale, is literally 18 meters tall. The new Gundam is 23 meters tall, and that's from head to toe. That doesn't include the fin funnels. Of course, during the years, there's been many rumors that the new Gundam was going to probably be the next perfect grade kit. And as much as we all would want to see it, a perfect grade new Gundam would probably be way too big. To give you a better understanding of how big this kit would be, let me pull up one of my other Master Grade kits here, if you guys don't mind the noise effects in the background. So here we go. So here is my 1/100 scale Master Grade RX-78-2. This is the old 1 Year War version. This is not the 2.0 or the 1.0 or the 1.5. New Gundam would probably tower somewhere around here. Now, this kit is roughly the same height as the Strike Freedom. Maybe a little bigger. As a matter of fact, I have to look at it a bit, or something like that. But if I want, I'll pull this guy out to give you another example. Here's my perfect grade Strike Freedom without the wings. A perfect grade new Gundam would probably be somewhere around here in height and maybe in bulkiness. That is something to think about if Bandai ever decides to commit to a perfect grade new Gundam. But for now, we're going to work with what we have right here and make this kit. And so you guys know, this is going to be a straight build. This is not going to be a custom build. Weather is not going to permit me to do this right now as a paint job. We're just going to do it straight, and we're going to do this for this calendar year 2012. Alright, so let's look at the contents of this kit. Let's see what we have to work with here. There we go. I see a lot of trays here. And first tray I see here is the armor, the white armor parts. Very, very, very detailed parts. Here's the head, of course. Pretty big. I think it's probably not as big as, or excuse me, it's about roughly the same size, but it is going to be taller. Also in the background, as you can see here, we have the interesting silver stickers here, and of course green in the eyes, and something else back here. But this over here, this whole thing is the water slide decals, so that's going to be cool to see. Now this is a welcome sight. I'm glad to see that Bandai has decided to do this. Manipulator hands. Now we've all remembered the manipulator hands, which can be open, close like this. And with the recent crop of newer kits from the Age and Age kits, Seed kits, and I think even some 00, if I'm not mistaken, but I think no, 00 doesn't have suffer that issue. Everything's been parts forming hands. But I'm glad to see that they added this. I can imagine there's parts forming hands for this kit either way. But this is a welcome sight. White parts, of course. Here are the navy blue parts. Pretty nice. Parts for the fin funnel. Some of the charcoal gray parts. I can see a lot of these parts are really big. Big parts. Here's the yellow parts, and I see clear parts, which this is the stand. Parts of the stand that you can also use to hold up the fin funnels when it's in fin funnel attack mode. Here's some more charcoal parts here. And then we have some more white parts, some red parts here. Actually, the only red parts, I guess. Some of the poly caps. Then we got yellow, some of the beams. You have two types of beams. You have the regular beam, and you have the swipe beam. And then you have the neon green, which of course, if I'm not mistaken, I think this neon green illuminates when when different kinds of color, light colors are reflected to it. We'll have to look into that in a moment. Here are the more charcoal, polycap parts, more of the white parts. And here is the cool little stand. Very nice. And here's the manual, which we're going to pull to the side. And we'll put this away for now. There's a lot of parts here. Reminds me, actually, yeah, it reminds me of the Perfect Grade Strike Freedom when I was making that. Alright, so let's review the manual. Actually, let me just... There we go. Now then. The cover art, of course, of the kit is pretty good. Here's some more detailed pictures and line art of the new Gundam Verka. This page here is some detailed pictures of what the kit looks like, fully built in with decals on it. It actually reminds me of the. Usually, this type of paint, photo layout that I've usually seen on the fixed figuration kits, and I know that there's a nice fixed figuration kit of the new Gundam. One of the cool features, of course, and here there's a picture here, and there's been always a comment that when Bandai said there was going to be a special thing coming out with this, many people thought that it was going to be an extra set of funnels, so it has double funnels, or it'll come with the actual escape pod from the Sinanju. But then it will look weird because the ball does not look like the right size of dimensions. And I kind of jokingly said, oh great, now the new Gundam is going to get himself its own basketball. And then I can imagine many people posing it as, playing basketball. Here's the parts guide, all, well detailed and stuff like that. And then the next page, of course, covers the assembly of the body, the assembly of the head, and then the arms, assembly of the positioning of the hands, the upper body, which is the shoulders, and then from here I'll begin with the legs, the feet first, then the legs. And I see some of the effect parts that I'm noticing here with the decals and the clear color parts, so we'll look into that later on. And then of course the assembly of the waist unit, followed by the backpack, which can either, I see there's two types of modes. Interesting. This is very interesting, I'm noticing here. We'll have to look into this soon. The assembly of the backpack, and then the assembly of the lower body, then the weaponry, of course, the beam rifle, the bazooka, the beam shield, the beam saber, which probably is going to be one or two parts. Continue on the assembly of the weaponry, and then of course the last pages here is the assembly of the fin funnels, and then I see the base stand there, where of course you want to position the funnels. And then transformation parts. Interesting. This thing could expand and transform, kind of like... Really? So this thing can actually expand and contract, kind of like, almost like the unicorn. Wow. This is interesting. And then, of course, the positioning of all the decals, complete diagram and all that stuff. Wow. This is a lot of work. A lot of work. I'm going to enjoy making this. This is, you know what? I'm going to enjoy making it because I won't be constrained with me thinking of what paint I'm going to use, worrying about parts being scratched, waiting for things to dry. So, doing this is going to be cool. And I hope you guys enjoy this. So, let's stop talking and let's start building New Gundam Verka Master Grade. Okay, so today we're going to start with the torso of the new Gundam Verka 1/100 scale Master Grade. All these parts that you see here is what is required to build the torso unit. And there's a lot of parts. It's what do I come to expect from a Master Grade kit to come with a lot of parts. And there's a lot of things here that I've noticed that are pretty interesting. Also, during the course of this build, I want you guys to point out to me if there's something new or something, or is it the same? How can I explain this? I know that this is the Katoki version, but sometimes Katoki versions will probably borrow some same parts from the previous Master Grade kit. Now I never had the original Master Grade New Gundam, so if there's something here that's different, please point it out and let us know so we can all, we're all aware of this. Some of the preparations that I began were some of these green parts here, where I had to put on the reflective metal that I showed off here, you see this? I put it on these, which is required. It's you gotta be very, very patient with this. Make sure that you have you know, I don't even see where my knife is, but I used it where I had to peel it off and put it onto the clear parts just for this kit. Anyway, let's stop yapping and let's begin. So first things first, we're going to take this part here. Actually, no, we'll take this part. It has to go like, I think this, and then we have this little flap thing here. Put this on first. Now, normally you would connect these two together, but first thing is you need these two parts and get the clip that goes around like this, slide it in like so until it's lined up like that here. Then carefully connect this here. Be careful with this because this can feel like it could bend out of control, so try not to bend it and break it. If you break it, well, you guys know what I mean, what will happen, of course. So we'll close these two parts here together, make sure this one's lined up properly, and then seal it up like so. So it looks like that. But there's more.